really needs to be talked about, which is how do we reform the way the police are conducting themselves towards the public. That entire racism narrative is put in to stop that discussion. But that falls apart when you look at the fact that what happened to Eric Garner was supervised by an African-American female New York City Police Department sergeant. Had no problem with that happening. So Obama's solutions of cameras to record everything, that's not going to change anything. Obama's solution of having racial quotas in police departments that are mandated or controlled from Washington, that's not going to change anything. But I want to go back to Lionel while we've got him. Lionel, there was also another police shooting just this last weekend. Of course, the Mr. Gurley who was killed in the projects. There were two cops, a veteran cop and a rookie cop, doing a top-down patrol in a project building. The rookie cop had his gun out as Mr. Gurley and his girlfriend entered the stairwell. They got tired of waiting for the elevator. The rookie cop shot him, from testimony that's come out so far, without warning, shot him in the chest, and it sounds like they left without calling for emergency help. So there were some protests on Monday. We had some people who threw some fake blood on the police commissioner. I'm sure that's a factor in these demonstrations that are going on in New York now as well.
Yes, in fact, there was also today's Daily News had a piece in which they suggested that one of the police officers, or the shooter perhaps, again, alleged shooters and allegedly did this, but might have been on the phone texting his union rep rather than calling for emergency backup.
Wow.
Now that's also, this goes to show you, so is that racism? Is that incompetence? You know, one of the problems I have to understand is, you know, Paul and David, when you are assigned to a particular area as a police officer where there are more drugs, there is more crime, there is more robbery. Now hear me out. In an area, a sector, I don't know what you call it in the UK, Paul, but a precinct or a city or a unit area, in a particular locale, and we're going to go in there. And I tell you, by the way, we're going into this new place. It's in Kensington. I don't even know the name. And there's more robberies and rapes and drugs and whatever. What can you tell me about that place? Is that going to be an affluent place based upon the number of crimes reported? Or is that going to be a poor place? What do you think based upon the statistics without even stepping foot in that area? What would you guess?
Go ahead, Paul.
Well, I mean, that's the point that many prominent black speakers have made, that the 911 calls are coming from the crime-ridden areas, obviously, so that's where police need to go. That's where they're called out. That's where they're going to go. So, why do you think, and let's assume they're poor, people of color, African Americans, Latino, not Park Avenue, not, you know, whatever, Beverly Hills, or whatever the particular. Now, if that's the truth, so isn't the issue, well, why are black people or poor people or Latino people living in such areas? Why is there so much crime there to begin with, before the police even enter this? Why is that? So I hate to belabor the point, but this goes back in dissecting your argument. If we are tonight going to patrol New York or Austin or London or wherever it is, the majority of our calls, I guarantee you, are going to come from the place where there's most crime, and they tend to be poorer. So that means that our interaction with the poor, by definition, is going to be greater than our interaction with the high and mighty. Does that mean we're racist?
We're going to have to leave it with that rhetorical question, Lionel. Thank you so much for joining us from New York, and Paul Joseph Watson from London. Stay with us. We're going to come back.